How can you build a loving relationship? Well, you can do it by learning skills. The Frantz Lamour Show is designed to equip you with counseling skills and biblical principles to help you learn how to build and maintain a loving relationship. As a mental health counselor, a doctoral candidate in marriage and family at Liberty University, an author of many books about loving relationships, and a pastor, Frantz can definitely help you learn counseling skills and biblical principles to build the loving relationship you so deserve. Search for Frantz Lamour at Amazon to find his books about building loving relationships. And now, here is Frantz Lamour for another great presentation about loving relationships.
Welcome. Thank you once again for allowing us to come into your homes to bring the message of
loving relationships.
We really appreciate the opportunity of sharing some knowledge with you. I know you guys are smart people. You already know how to build loving relationships. My wife and I just need to add to what you already know to help you make your relationships more loving. Jenny, I have a question. I know you often start by asking me questions. So you're going to have to talk a lot today.
Wow.
Is that okay?
Yes.
If you don't talk, I know the show is going to be a failure today. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, well, you don't say anything.
Today we are going to talk about the cost.
Yeah, the cost of building, maintaining a loving relationship. I think we already talked about two costs, and today we're going to close with another cost. The cost is talents. Let me give you an option to choose.
Mm-hmm.
If I give you an option to choose between talents and troubles,
of course, I'll choose talent, not troubles.
Why?
Talent is more ability that I have I can use.
Well, if you don't want trouble in your relationship with me, you know what we need to do with our talents?
Put it to good use.
Not only that, we need to affirm
each other's talents.
If you don't want to be in trouble. Yes, guys, if you don't want to be in trouble with your relationships, we need to learn how to affirm one another's talents. Talents refer to the abilities and skills and gifts that God has given us to build loving relationships. You are talented. You have abilities. You have gifts. And if I fail to acknowledge them, then I'm asking for troubles in my relationship with you.
And that's all of us.
Yeah.
Both men and women are very talented. We have different things that we are good at that we can do in our relationship to make life better, easier.
Yeah, and then when we talk about affirming, basically, a simple way to put it is to confirm the truth, the value
that we already know about each other.
Yeah. I know you are talented, but I need to confirm it. Mm-hmm. And then one way we can confirm it is to begin by affirming the person first. Not what the person can do or what the person will do for you. You begin by affirming the person. We learn that from God. Before Jesus Christ had done anything publicly, before he performed any miracles, before he served other people, before he died and rose from the dead, you know what God his Father said about him?
This is my beloved son.
Yeah, this is my son.
This is my son
whom I love. He didn't do anything at all. I am well pleased with you. This is my wife, whom I love. Aww. I am really well pleased with you. You are truly a gift to me.
Amen. Me too.
You're gonna have to talk, Jenny. You cannot be quiet today because you have the ability to speak. You have the knowledge, the experiences, and the understanding. When I reflect about you as a person, there are many things I can say, but I will start by saying that you are loving. And then you love unconditionally.
Thank you. And you are loving too.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And, there's different characteristics in each other that help to balance our relationship too.
One thing also that I admire about you, you're very peaceful. This helps me a lot as a writer, knowing that I'm coming home to a peaceful person. It creates a perfect environment for me to think clearly, to gather my thoughts and to put them into words so I can write what God has inspired me to write. So, and then you have your character is very sweet.
Thank you.
Your character is very sweet. And I really admire this about you. And you are wonderfully made.
Thank you. So all these are talents or gifts that he admire about me.
Yeah, these are qualities.
I admire qualities.
Yeah, these are qualities. Before you do anything, I'm looking at you right now. Oh my God, you're so gorgeous.
Is this show about me today?
Of course, it's about you.
It's about our talents, how we need to affirm.
But don't we have to lead by example in the kingdom?
The gifts that we have.
Yeah, we have to lead by example in the kingdom.
Of course.
The way we have.
You are a talented writer.
Bang, bang. Remember, we're starting with the person first.
Okay.
Not what the person can do. So you have to look at your spouse and then evaluate the qualities that you bring to the table to make your relationship what it is. And affirm them. Affirm them. Let your spouse know about the qualities that you observe. And later on in the show, I'm going to explain to you what studies have revealed about affirming one another, the benefits that we will reap in our relationships if we practice affirmations in our relationships. Then once we acknowledge the person for who the person is, now we have to go to the next step. The next step is to acknowledge your spouse. Before I talk about acknowledge your spouse's talents, is a fact that every person has talents.
Everyone.
Everyone is gifted with talents, which is what I mean by that: abilities, skills, and gifts. We all have gifts that we can use to complement each other.
There's something that you are good at.
Mm-hmm. So now, as we continue using affirmations in our relationship, it's important to do these things that I'm going to share with our audience, and then with one another. Allow you to be yourself, because your talents are unique.
Yes,
mine also. But therefore, I need to allow you to be yourself. How does that make you feel when I allow you to be who you are?
You are free.
Yeah, you are free. So if you allow your spouse to be who she is or who he is, that will make your relationship more loving.
Balance.
Balance. There is no competition.
Yes.
No jealousy. No comparison. We just allowed each other to be
who we are.
And then because I know your talent, you have talents, and then I allow you to be yourself. We have to be each other biggest
Leader.
cheerleader. We got to cheer one another and support one another. And then when we do that, we inspire one another to use our talents. So I should allow you to be yourself, use the talents that you have to make the relationship more loving. I think it's a talent for you not to speak.
It's not a talent for me not to speak.
It's a talent for me to encourage you to speak.
Okay.
I don't know about that. Another thing that we have to do when we are affirming one another, we have to acknowledge each other's talents. And one way we can do that, if I know you have talents, and you do. For example, you are very good at cooking.
That's a talent?
It is a talent. A lot of people who eat your food saying, oh my God, you know how to cook. And you cook food in a way that makes me healthy. And I really appreciate that. Not only they taste good, but they are healthy. So acknowledging each other's talents means at least asking for help. If I know you are good at cooking and I'm not as good as you are, if I'm going to cook something, I need to go to the expert. Asking for help.
Okay.
And what happens in most relationships, the fact that we do not acknowledge each other's talents, we think we have to do everything by ourselves.
Or we think we have to compete with each other.
Yeah, we have to compete to each other. So if we know you know your spouse have talents and you don't have the talent that your spouse have, one thing that you can do is ask him for help.
Yes. And don't forget that their talents complement
and then
each other's talent.
Yeah, there are things that my wife is good at. For example, you're a great teacher. And I think your students are blessed to have you as their teacher. And when I observe the way you interact with our children, despite of their failures, their strengths, and you always show love. You are a loving mother.
Thank you.
You're going to have to say more than thank you.
It balances out. You are also, gifted in that area. You are able to speak kindness greatly to our kids. And where I like in my talents of, my passion is teaching. I may come off, the wrong way. You are there to, make it better. Inspire me. When I want to give up, you are there with, your gifts and talent to encourage me. Always find, words to uplift me, to say, keep going. It's going to get better. The kids will grow up. These are way that, we complement each other and our talents.
Yeah. And you are giving too. Giving, loving, and you have a discerning spirit. Oftentimes, if you were not for you, I would have screwed up in many things. I don't think that will work. You really have a discerning spirit. I really appreciate that.
7 life-giving words to live your best life is a blueprint to help you live what you deserve. Your best life. As a licensed psychotherapist, author Frantz Lamour witnesses firsthand the effort it takes to rise above everything that keeps us down. We want to live our best life, but we don't know how. Just when we're about to give up, we discover hope and guidance in God's life-giving words. Through 7 practical lessons and relevant scriptures on words of love, forgiveness, healing, salvation, peace, and grace, 7 life-giving words to live your best life will breathe new energy into your daily walk and help you master the art of living your best life.
to acknowledge each other's talents by asking for
Help.
help. No need to overload yourself. When you have a spouse who has talents to help.
Which is both.
Yeah.
So we balance each other out once again.
So helping each other with our talents will decrease stress, tiredness, and frustrations.
Make life works easier.
Yeah, because we become more productive as co-workers.
Co-partners.
Yeah, co-partners. We are co-workers during the marriage. There's a lot of work to do in marriage. Another way we can affirming each other is helping each other complete a task in the relationship. No matter how small they may seem, you can always reflect Christ and glorify Him in your actions in the relationship.
Any relationship.
Yeah, it's small things. Taking out the trash, fixing the bed, washing the dishes,
mopping the floor,
which I'm
sweeping.
One help that I need from you to mop the floor, you got to ask me. Because if you don't ask me, that's not in my list. I'm telling you, that's not in my list.
Helping to organize, maybe creating a list so that you guys go by to help each other to remember the different things that needs to be done.
Yeah, I think because we have different personalities, and God made us male and female, we incline to certain things differently. So by reminding each other what needs to be done, it can be very helpful in building a loving relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I agree.
Yes, that's all.
I approve this message.
So let me make a request. What task that you plan to do this week you would like me to help you?
This week is a little bit easier because, we have to be out of our area for the rest of the week. So I don't plan anything huge to do. When we have those different activities that we plan, I try not to put more on the plate so that we can come and get ready to go. So just resting, trying to grab something to eat instead of trying to, cook a whole meal. That would be helpful for this week.
All right. I love that. I love that.
How about you?
Well, I want to get into it. One thing that I would like you to do, I'm going to teach for 3 days in the church at Miami. We're going to talk about godly men in the family. So I want you to continue to be peaceful.
No headache.
So that my mic can be
no headache. Okay.
Clearer than what it is right now, so I can focus on what God has to, what God wants me to share with my fellow brothers, who live in Miami.
Okay.
I'm loaded. I can't wait for that day to come so I can unload knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so we can become the godly men that we are created to be in the kingdom of God. Several studies reveal the benefits of affirmations in relationships. So I would like to share some of them with our audience. And I see that also in our relationship with one another. When you affirm one another, this can change negative thoughts into positive ones.
Of course. It helps the person to see or realize to their strength.
Yeah.
Maybe they think we're just, working in the dark. You help to bring light on their gifts and talents by helping to tell them, hey, I think you really do a, wonderful job with this. Mm-hmm. You are really talented in the way you arrange the house, that everything is in its place and very organized.
Yeah. Yeah. That's important. I like the way you are well coordinated and how you dress tonight.
I'm just trying to follow him.
I'm following you. you, are, you are the example. Yeah, a lot of things, we grew up with historical damage, negative views that people have about who we are as an individual, as individuals. To have a partner who affirms you can help you, identify, challenge and replace negative thoughts
Positive ones.
Yeah, with positive ones.
Yes.
And then studies have demonstrated this is one benefit you and I can reap when we decide to do that. Another benefit is it helps your spouse feel positive and increase self-confidence.
And it works also in your relationship with your kids and other family members in your household, because helping them and affirming them will help them to know that you're not focused so much on the negative, the things that they're not doing, but you are affirming them and the good things that they are doing. Maybe that will help to pick up the slacks on the other things that they need to work on. Yeah,
I know you are very good at mathematics as a teacher. One thing that I learned when I was at school studying mathematics, if they ask you to find the unknown factors, you cannot start with the unknown.
You have to start with the known.
With the known factors, right? You got to start with the known factors, the values that they give you. That's when you start. So oftentimes in a relationship, what do we start with? We start with what we desire.
What we want.
What we don't have. And then we neglect the fact that we already have so many things, so many qualities. We have done so many things for one another. And we have to take time to identify them and say them.
And build on that.
And then when we do that, you're going to build a strength-based relationship and the person will feel empowered.
Yes.
It will increase self-confidence for the person to go after the unknown.
Yes.
Yeah, to go after the unknown. Another benefit we can experience in a relationship when we practice affirmations is increasing emotional well-being. Emotional well-being, psychological,
and
emotional well-being, and spiritual well-being too. When I view you as someone who is made in God's image, the image means nature. I see God's nature in you. I will treat you the same way I treat God. And that will boost your emotional well-being.
And spiritual well-being.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been with you for how long?
Too long.
Over 20 years, right? We have been together. One thing that I really admire in terms of the way God uses me is to always see the positive side of life.
It's true.
To ensure that people around me feel love.
Yes.
Feel love, the love of God.
Is that a talent?
It is. It is.
Or is it a gift?
It is both. You got to learn how to love.
That's true.
You got to learn how to. You may have the gift, but you got to learn how to process it. So you require skills. Yeah. It requires skills. So I think God has blessed me with skills and gifts to understand that the only thing that really matters in life is to love God and to love people.
Yes, that's
true. And when we do that, we become more productive, which is one of the benefits of affirmations. You improve productivity in the relationship.
Improve the relationship overall.
Yeah, more things happen. We have the energy to do more things. It reduces stress also.
In our relationships.
And then it increases motivation to make love.
So that's a plus for your relationship.
Yeah.
So affirmation, you want to be in a relationship where you have more love making, try affirmation.
You don't ask for love, you affirm the person and you will get love. Ooh. When you read the Song of Solomon, do you see a lot of affirmations?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're beautiful.
You are beautiful. I cannot live without you. I'm looking for you among the women. I cannot wait to be under your shadow. There are a lot of affirmations back and forth between two lovers.
Yes.
And then if we live like that, that will get rid of domestic violence. verbal abuse,
Yes.
emotional abuse, assaulting one another, because we understand the importance of affirming
One another. There may be things that you are, not good at. I may be very good at doing it. So by affirming the things that, you can do, maybe coaching and coming beside you and helping you to see the things that can be worked on, affirming what you're best at.
One thing also, our talents can increase wealth. We should not bury
Our talents.
We need to increase our talent. We need to multiply our talents by learning more. Remember, God gave us a brain, but the brain that God gave us was an empty brain. We have to fill it with knowledge. And how do we do that? We have to study. We have to learn. We have to read.
Learn new
We have
skills.
to develop ourselves so we can be more effective in what we do. Here's what the Bible says in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10. Each of you should use whatever gift he has received to serve others faithfully, administering God's grace in its various forms.
So look upon your wife's talent as a gift to
Serve
affirm,
another, yeah.
because she uses her gifts and your family and your relationship to better the family. At times, I think, our gifts and talent may be seen as a negative, not because it's negative,
Yeah,
but because it's viewed in a different way.
in a different way. Yeah, that is so true. So we have to train our brain to appreciate
One another.
one another, and we have to use our gift to serve,
One another.
not to compete with one another, but
Or
to
compare.
compare, but to serve one another. How do we do that? Faithfully. And when we do that, we become good administrators of God's grace and building each other up in love. So we encourage you to make it a goal to affirm your spouse daily.
Yes.
And when we
Make
do
it
that,
a habit.
yeah, making a habit. Yeah, look for what works in the relationship to improve the areas that need to improve. Your last word, Jenny?
Affirm, affirm, affirm.
Affirm, affirm, affirm.
Don't forget, don't ask for love. Affirmation brings more love
That's right.
into your
You see how you're
relationships.
smiling right now? Because I affirm you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure, guys, to be with you. Thank you so much for watching our show. We are in it to help you build loving relationships. Tell a friend about our show,
Subscribe.
subscribes, and we'll see you next
Next
time
time.
for another great show. Thank you. Love you.
When difficult situations threaten to weaken the strength of your family, you need a solid structural foundation of leadership. Family Leadership in Times of Crisis provides this foundation through 5 practical principles, relevant scriptures, counseling skills, techniques, and biblical teaching to equip you and your family with the skills to successfully navigate any crisis. With good family leadership, we can push for greater justice and racial equality in the United States and around the world, and maintain a more just and loving humanity. Family leadership is even more essential during times of crisis, such as the COVID-19 pandemic.